My name is Silluzio, children's book author. I started seriously writing some 12 months ago. I've always had a burning desire to write ever since I was a little boy. In fact, in one of my classes, the teacher read out one of my stories that I'd written, and because she liked it so much, and read it out to all of the classroom, and they enjoyed it immensely as well. But I really didn't seriously start writing until I was 64, so quite a huge gap occurred in between then. Some 5 years ago, my granddaughter Milana had an awful habit of running away. We lost her in IKEA once. We didn't know whether she'd been kidnapped or whether she'd been run over in the car park. Anyway, we found her finally with a security guard 3 floors up, and she just wouldn't understand that it's not a game. And of course, children think that running away and hide and seek, that's what a game. It is a game. At 3 years old, that's what you think. So last year, unfortunately, I suffered a health problem, and whilst I was home and I had not much to do, the idea started to creep into my head again in terms of wanting to write and especially write about children, safe behaviour with children, and in a fun and easy to understand way. So subsequently, my first book, Milana and the Escalator, was born, which is this one here, and everybody really seems to love it. It was #1 in Kindle just recently, but let me tell you, it certainly didn't look like this. In fact, this is the original manuscript, which I sort of chopped and pasted and cut out and put illustrations in to send off to my designer, who consequently is in Venezuela, and he's just done an absolutely beautiful job. After I read that story to my other grandchildren, I've got 5 other grandchildren, at bedtime, they said, "Well, Granddad, when are you going to write a story for us?" And I thought, oh, what have I got myself into? And so started the road towards myself writing the other books. So I virtually wrote 9 manuscripts within a 3-month period. And then of course the editing part has to be done. The illustrations, which really take a great deal of time, have to be done. I always sourced illustrators that really depicted what my grandchildren sort of looked like. I expected really classy caricature, beautiful illustrations from each of them, and I gave them heaps and heaps of photos so that they could understand what it is that I was wanting, and it's just been such a wonderful journey. So some 12 months later, I've had 9 books now, which 6 are published, 3 more just with the illustrators at the moment, and even my other book, the second book, Jara and the Excursion, if I can find it on my messy desk, because unfortunately I do love clutter. I was trained as an architectural draftsman, so I always had paper around me, and this is how I work, and unfortunately a lot of people can't, but I do, I enjoy it. So Jara and the Excursion was a result of my oldest son coming home and said, "Dad," he said, "you won't believe it," he said, "but Jara doesn't want to go to the snow with us this weekend." And I said, "Why?" She said, "Apparently she lost this note that was given to her by the teacher, but she couldn't say the word excursion and make us understand that it was something she really wanted to do, and she wanted to go with her classmates to this museum." And subsequently the second story was born. The third story is probably my favourite. It's a result of, well, it really goes back 32 years ago, when one of my twin boys, Aaron, at Christmas time said to my wife, he said, "Oh, I think it's you and Mum and Dad that's Father Christmas, and there's no such thing as Father Christmas." So of course, when she told me, I was in shock, and I thought, well, what are we going to do? We need to be careful, we need to make sure we stay up all night. And he'd said to his brothers, "We're going to stay up all night. That's what we're going to do. We're going to catch Father Christmas." We thought, well, there's no way we're going to fall asleep before then, but unfortunately we did. And as you know, Christmas time is a very, very busy time of the year, with parties and dinners and celebrations and all the rest of it. Went to church late that night. We were exhausted, and we fell asleep before then. When they got up, of course, the Christmas tree was empty they got up before us and started searching everywhere, and we had to come up with a pretty good scheme and make them understand what was going. Well, make them understand. We had to then revise our thinking as to what we were going to do, and the story that I'd come up with was that we were building a new home, and perhaps Father Christmas has gone to the new home. So what actually happens from then on, you really need to read my book, Max the Boy Who Didn't Believe in Santa Claus, and we put a naughtiest name in. My oldest granddaughter Jara felt that Max was a good name for a naughty boy because there's a naughty boy at her school. Children love books, there's no doubt about it. I've read most of my books to children at schools now, and the best gauge in terms of whether they like your books is really by going to schools, do readings in classes with the littlies, and that's one of the greatest enjoyments that I get. Certainly enjoy my journey. I hope you love my books. They're pretty much out there now in all the bookstores, on Amazon as well, or on my website silluzio.com. They're beautifully illustrated books. Each has got a beautiful story, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you.